A good job of just doing different things to like bring us all together, whether that's traveling like to the beach, having fun, and just doing different extracurricular activities.
I know the quarterback is older than you by a number, but
2 years.
two. I thought it was one.
I think he's 25.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, but you're still referred to as an old head.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
It's kind of funny because I feel like I was just a freshman, so it kind of went by all fast, honestly. But I mean, it is what it is. I like it, you know. I get free reign to do a lot of stuff, so that's great.
Is this fun too?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's played a huge role in me coming back the last 2 years. Just want to leave this place in a better place than what it was when I got here, and I think that's huge for me. And in order to have a legacy at UNC, one, you got to win. I've done that on a small scale. I haven't won as much as I want to, so that's been a huge emphasis for me this year. But also, too, you got to find a way to get your jersey retired in the Raptors. So this year I'm going for AC Player of the Year, National Player of the Year, First Team All-American, something. I got to find a way to get my jersey in the Raptors.
And what reaction, if any, did you have to that participation?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fair. I mean, I really don't put too much stock into preseason anything because last year I was projected preseason player of the year. I didn't win it. We was the number one team in the country last year. We didn't win anything. I mean, when is the number one preseason team ever really win a championship that year? I mean, I don't really put too much stock in that.
Do you feel a desire to kind of get the bad taste out of last year out of your mouth too?
No, because I kind of already washed it out. You know, I kind of forgot all about last season. We got a bunch of new guys, and it's a completely different team. So I completely forgot about it. I don't even remember it.
Armando, with your individual goals, you just kind of pointed out what you want to do for yourself. Can that be also viewed as a way of being a leader for this team and saying, look, this is what I'm going after, pop on my back, come along?
Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, I think in order for anybody or any team to get to where they want to be, it has to be some type of selfishness involved into it. I mean, Coach Williams, he came and spoke to us early in the year, and he asked us like, who was the most selfish basketball player of all time? We all thought about it, and he said it was Michael Jordan. So I mean, if he could be selfish in his own way to get what he wants, knowing that it boosts up the team, that's kind of the mentality I'm taking in this year too, just being as selfish as possible to help win the team. Because if I'm playing my best and being the best, and if I'm in a conversation for Player of the Year, all conference things like that, then it's putting the team in a better place.
I was talking to
Imagine a scenario where you with Cole Anthony.
No, because I mean, I didn't even know if Kobe would be a thing, so I definitely didn't have any idea of that at all.
Like when you just reflect on the fact that you're in school.
Yeah.
Obviously, NIL is becoming what do you make of this kind of stick around?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great because, I mean, I've been able to build a lot of great relationships and cement myself in North Carolina and kind of create a legacy and also get my NBA and do things like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't change a thing about it. I mean, I love it. Working towards it. Yeah, one more year.
was talking to Zayden High at the UNC Media Day. He said he highlighted a specific moment in practice where I think you dunked over him and then said welcome to college.
Yeah.
Do you recall that or expand on that situation?
Yeah, no, Zayden, he liked to run his mouth a little bit. He liked to talk a lot of trash, so I think it was a play where, like, Jay Wash had, like, scored or something, and he was talking trash, and I could just remember the next play, setting the screen rolling and just dunking all over him and telling him welcome to college. So it was one of those moments for him. But Zayden, he's going to be a great player. He's a competitor, and he makes a lot of winning plays. So he'll definitely play a lot early on, and he'll be a great player.
Non-X's and O's here. Fast forward a couple months, you're midway through the season. What would you tell yourself and your team right now?
Stay the course and just take it one game at a time. I think last year showed us that every game matters. I mean, we won one of those games in Portland, we probably would have went to the NCAA tournament. So just taking every game one by one and really looking at every game like it's a championship game because it all matters at the end of the day.
What are the 2 or 3 biggest differences in the style of play you'll have this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think our offense y'all see like early on, like it's completely different. Like we've kind of really changed up everything. And I think it'll be fun just for the fans to see and the all to see, because it's a lot funner style offense and it's more movement and a lot of guys getting involved, and we kind of added in a lot of secondary stuff again, kind of what we ran the first year, but with a twist a little bit. So it'll be great.
And the ball stuck a lot last year. It seemed like there's more ball movement in the preseason to prevent that.
Yeah, no, I think there'll definitely be a lot of ball movement. I mean, you add in Elliot Cadone, the way he can really move the ball and get everybody involved. I mean, I think he's going to play a huge role in like kind of just building a great continuity with everybody in terms of just sharing the ball and creating movement and getting a lot of guys over and getting a lot of guys involved.
Do you think there'll be more entry passes to you than last season? And how's that working out?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the coaches, they've been making a huge emphasis on it. So it's really the guards and the wings' job to just give me the ball. So I think I'll probably get a lot more shots this year.
Do you look around your locker room and go, yeah, this looks like an NCAA tournament team to me, I guess? You got enough sense of that yet?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was really – I didn't want to put too much stock in anything we really did early on in the season because, man, I had a good feeling last year too. But just going off how much we've competed in, like, our first scrimmage, how encouraging that was for us. I mean, I think definitely got a chance to be a good team because, I mean, we did a lot of great things, and I was really proud of how we looked.
What's different about the way Coach Davis has handled this group as opposed to last year?
I mean, it's really the same. Like, Coach Davis, he's always honest, but I mean, I say for me in particular, like, he hasn't really let up on me. Like, I probably get yelled at the most. So, I mean, he's been really holding me accountable over anybody, and I think just a coach holding one of their better players accountable kind of just sends a message to everyone. So, just him and all the coaches just getting on me, I think, has been, like, their main emphasis.
On Rothstein's podcast interview with Coach Davis, he said that he expects you to dominate. Is that kind of dovetails?
Yeah, that's been their message, and I think that's why they've been on me so hard, because I think they just want me to just dominate every game and just be the best that I can be. And I mean, I love it because that's what I want to do, and just them continuing pushing that in my head, I think it'll definitely work out.
That's not asking too much of you? To dominate every game?
No, because I mean, I think I can do it, and it's something that I want to do, and it'll help me out to get to my goals and dreams. So it's what I need to be done.
Just congratulations.
Yeah, no, Jalen Washington, he's been great. He's been going against me every day, so he's been getting better and better. And I mean, he's been making it tough on me some days, which is encouraging because it pushes me and gets me better. And I mean, first scrimmage he was really good, so it's encouraging. I mean, I think it's gonna be great too. Just because coach is gonna have to play him this year, and it's gonna allow me to be able to take some breaks and not play as much and last longer in the season and kind of prevent a lot of those like little small injuries and stuff like that. I think it'll be great. So really happy for Jalen Washington. I think they'll have a great year.
What kind of impact do you think Ryan makes for you coming up from Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, Cormac, he has a lot of experience. This is his 6th year in college. So just having a guy like that with so much experience, not scared of the moment, has played in the big games and been in the ACC and like knows how everything goes, it's going to be huge. And I mean, he'll be an impact performer off rip. I mean, he can shoot the ball and he's just so competitive. So just having that within the team has been great for us.
You talked about your time here. Can you elaborate on what you want your legacy to be?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be remembered as someone who really just played hard that whole time here and gave everything, gave it their all.
Hi, Armando. Jen Lewis, 3 Chicks and a Pod News Stitch Media. And congratulations on beating Billy Cunningham's record. And it's pretty much almost smashing it. What is your goal for this year? Is it to beat Ronnie Shavlitz? Because I know right now y'all are tied for 3rd.
Yeah, I don't really know the stat records for real. I mean, for me personally, I just want to win a national championship and win National Player of the Year.
Awesome.
I think, like, if I have a good enough season, I should be able to break any record that I'm close to breaking.
You will do it. Now, fun question. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Favorite cheat meal? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't really had too much cheat meals this offseason. I've been kind of working on my body. Honestly, like.
No, I believe
I went to the fair, though, the other day, and I had, like, some fried Oreos. So that was probably my first cheat meal all summer.
Oh, awesome.
With Tyler Nickel transferring over to Virginia Tech, you were around him every day in practice. I mean, he didn't play much in the games, but from what you saw, can he make an impact in the ACC with the Hokies?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think Virginia Tech, I was telling one of the guys on the team, I think Virginia Tech will be a scary team. I mean, Coach Young, he does a great job of coaching, and they've added on a lot of great additions. And Tyler Nichols is one of those guys that's not scared of the moment. And I think that's somewhat of the battle right there, just being confident. I think that'll be huge for him, and with just his ability to score the ball. I mean, I think he's going to be an immediate impact there, and I think that'll definitely make Virginia Tech a scary team. And I feel like a lot of teams really don't want to play Virginia Tech because they know how they get.
Was there a little bit of a whiplash with all those guys transferring? I mean, what was it like on the team when all this was happening?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected a lot of it. I mean, for some of the guys, you can kind of see, like, kind of get a feel like there'd probably be a chance that they would transfer. And I mean, I'm just great that they all got to go where they wanted to be and not have to be at UNC if they didn't want to be here, you know? I mean, and I think they all are in good situations and they'll all excel.
When you talk about that sense, like at what point do you get that in the season?
I mean, I would probably say more towards the end of the year. I mean, guys not getting the playing time they wanted and stuff like that. You kind of just get a feel. And I mean, even just talking to them, I was a guy that guys like to always come and talk to. And I mean, I always tell people, like, do what's best for you. So, I mean, I kind of had an idea.
You mentioned Jalen Washington playing some and maybe easing the burden on you a little bit. Do you ever talk to Coach about, hey, like, we got some guys who can play on the bench. Like, maybe we should get them some action. Is that a role you take at this point in your career?
Yeah, but I mean, I think really, Coach, I mean, we decide our playing time in practice and the way we play. I mean, in years past, I mean, every coach would want to play everybody, but I mean, you got to be able to trust the people when they get in. Are they going to be able to make a shot? Are they going to be able to limit turning the ball over? Are they going to not mess up defensive coverages and things like that? And I mean, I think coming off the bench and doing those things, you got to know the plays. You got to be able to hit open shots, and you can't turn the ball over. And I think those are the main things as a bench player. You got to know to be able to do if you want to play. So if you can do that, you'll play. And if you can rebound, do all those things, you'll be able to play. So it's really on the players.
How deep do you sense the rotation will be by ACC play?
I mean, judging off the first scrimmage, I mean, I think we're going to go pretty deep. That's what it feels like. I mean, we got a bunch of guys that can play. Jay Wash will play a lot. Zayden Howe will play a lot. I mean, you'll have to play James, too. So I definitely think my minutes will go down a lot, which, I mean, I don't have a problem with. And, I mean, obviously we got Elliott, who's talented. We got Seth, a lot of guards. We got a lot of guys that you have to play. And, I mean, as long as everybody's doing what they're told and being simple and effective, we'll have a good chance of 8 to 10 guys playing.
Armando, go ahead.
What was it like shooting around with Travis Scott the other day?
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I mean, I've been a fan of Travis Scott forever. He's been my favorite rapper since probably around like my 8th, 7th grade year. And
it's something that's here to stay. You being here through the whole process, are there any changes that you would make moving forward, or any suggestions that you would make to the NCAA or the powers that be of moving forward and making a great process?
I'll probably just say in terms of like teaching guys, you know, the players that may not be receiving all the spotlight, like how like maybe the 7th, 8th man, how like to market themselves and how to be a factor as well before they could receive some beneficial money as well. I think that would be like the next improvement standpoint. I mean, it's not just about one player, it's about the whole team.
Do you feel like the players in the women's game do a really good job at that, marketing themselves?
Yeah, I give credit to women's because they do a great job of knowing how to market themselves, and they do a phenomenal job for NIL, so they get all the credit.
Is it fair to say like their NIL opportunities are more often brand related, where it feels like in men's basketball, football, some of those opportunities are just coming from collectives, where like women's, it's kind of how it was designed, you know, connecting with brands, right. Everything that you talked about.
I mean, I think it's good. It's different from both sides, from men's and women's. Women's, you know, they're producing their brand and marketing themselves, and I think that's where you talked about how like the brands are coming into play and stuff like that. But I think it also is an advantage for both teams, for both parts, men's and women's. So, I mean, I think it's different, but it's definitely been great.
Do you think NIL's grown the women's game?
100%. I mean, just in terms of I think what was the Final Four was the most viewed.
Yeah.
Women's, I mean, stuff like that with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, little things like that. I think women's is like growing, and it also helps push for their NIL as well.
How much? What are the two?
Have you mentored Elliot?
Say again, I'm sorry?
How much, if any, have you tried to mentor Elliot?
Okay. No, I've done a lot in terms of mentoring him and trying to help him out a little bit. Because as a freshman, I didn't have that. I didn't have a senior guard that had experience. You know, I kind of just thrown to the fire. So just kind of just be that mentor for him and just help him pave the way. And help him, succeed here at Carolina.
What have you seen from him?
I've seen a lot of great things. He's been, phenomenal in terms of playmaking, which I'm sure you guys know about that. But I think his ability to learn and being willing to learn probably impressed me the most, just in terms of just see how great he wants to be as a player.
All right, Tiz, I got 10 rapid fire questions for you.
All right,
You ready?
Yep.
If you didn't play basketball, what would your dream profession be?
Football, I play slot receiver.
Who's your favorite ACC opponent?
Ooh, ACC opponent? I'll go Duke.
Play any other conference school, who would it be?
Penn State, because Puff is there.
Which artist would you want to name drop you in a song?
Lil Durk.
What's your biggest basketball hit?
Like when people miss like a wide layup.
Okay, what's your pregame meal?
Anything with pasta and shrimp.
Okay, screensaver and why?
Screensaver is this Bible verse I live by, just because it means a lot to me.
What's your favorite basketball sneaker?
Kobe's.
Favorite all-time Carolina basketball player?
Vince Carter.
Favorite basketball movie?
Like Mike.
Which player would you want to face one-on-one?
Kyrie Irving.
Like Mike?
I was at the top of the head. I don't know. I was gonna say a little bit basketball. I didn't want to say
What are the 2 or 3 biggest differences in the style of play this season as compared to last season?
The style of play?
Yeah.
I would say it's more so. I think we're getting back into Carolina in terms of the pace, running, and transition. Getting the ball out and run. But I also think the ball movement is going to be there this year. We have a lot of players that's able to space the floor out and don't have to just rely on Armando getting double teamed or triple teamed each game. And then we also have playmakers in this team. It doesn't have to just be me or like Elliot. Like Harrison can bring up the ball, Cormac can make a play. So I think that would be different from last year in terms of playmaking ability and kind of just spreading the floor out.
And there's a more conscious effort to get the post-entry passes to Armando?
100%. I mean, Mondo's a dominant force in the paint, and if we have a chance to give the ball down low to him, we will every second chance we get. And the entry-level pass, that's always going to be there for us because that's what we want. I think, I think we led the ACC in like free throws last year, something like that. So getting to the free throw line and enforcing the will inside, that's something that we always live by.
Do you get the sense that the rotation will be deeper, and how deep do you think it'll be when you get into the middle of the season?
I mean, we have a lot of great players that's able to play a lot of minutes, and I think that's what's so good because it makes it such a dynamic team. You can have a starting 5 in and then have a new 5, brand new fresh 5 come in and ready to impact the game as well. So I don't know how the rotation may look, but I definitely see that we go deep this year.
RJ, Armando was just telling us about the scrimmage that you guys had at FAU and how encouraging it was.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see as far as the identity and the pace of play?
Yeah.
Obviously, you said you got to run a little bit more. Sure, you saw some more shot making than what you displayed last year.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Like Armando said, it was encouraging. We did a lot of great things in the scrimmage, but I think the key thing for us is kind of just the little details. We play defense for a good possession for a long time, and it's like that little mistake that we just missed, like a mixed box out or close out middle drive. So it's like the little things, but we did a lot of good things, and it's been encouraging in terms of the way we played, the way we made up for each other's mistakes, and then kind of how we just listen to coach's game plan. I think this team is so dialed in terms of wanting to be great and wanting to be there for each other. And the ball movement was there. We was there for each other on defensive rotation. So it was definitely encouraging because you could see the potential that we have to be, or we could get to. So I was definitely impressed.
Who started in the scrimmage?
It was because they play 4 guards, FAU. So me, Cormac, Paxton Harrison, and Armando.
How much, when you're in the scrimmage, was there a point, maybe early on or at some point, where you kind of felt this is a lot different than last year? We're just a different group entirely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could just feel the vibe, not just from the scrimmage, but just from like the locker room, and just like from when they first stepped onto campus. It was a vibe that was like just you just wanted to like be there, you know. And I think what makes that vibe like feel that way is because I think the new players, the transfers, the freshmen, like they're excited to play here, and they're excited to put that jersey on and run out that tunnel. So, and it made me and Mondo's job a lot easier too, just to be veterans, but also just like kind of just show our personality more. I think this team has a lot of personality.
Armando got double teamed a lot last year, especially as the season went on. You guys got a little easier to guard. We talked about that during the season some last year. The kind of group you're going to have on the floor this year, are there going to be less times when teams can double him because there are more options around and where you guys can score from as opposed to last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think teams are going to have to make a decision whether they want to double Mondo down low and just leave shooters wide open, or leave us open and get the ball down low to Mondo. So I think it's what makes us, we have dynamic playmakers in terms of being able to shoot the ball from 3. We have guys that's able to drive down the gaps in the lanes and finish at the rim. So we have a lot of versatility throughout the whole lineup from the 1 through the 5. And I think that's what's going to make us really good this year.
What does Paxson bring? Everyone's talked about the other guys that came in, but not a lot of people talk about Paxson. But he was with you guys with the starters when we were at the open practice. You just mentioned him starting the other day.
Yeah.
What can fans expect to see from him?
No, I love Paxton's game. Just the way he brings it every day in practice, even in the scrimmage we played. He's a really guy that you can rely on. He's a really good teammate and a kind of player that you can rely on in terms of both ends of the floor. He's able to knock it down, and I think what fans are expecting to see is just a kid that's going out there, plays hard, and he's kind of like under the radar a little bit. Not too much people speak about him, but he's able to create for his own, and he got a really good like footwork game. And his pivots is like, I call him Mondo Ginobili a little bit, but I think Paxton's gonna have a really great season.
When I talked to him a few weeks ago, I brought up the fact that he had 13 rebounds in a game at Michigan State last year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He had 9 in a game at Northwestern. And he
does crash.
And he said, "I'm gritty because I'm a gritty player." So how gritty is he?
No,
he doesn't
is.
crash the boards hard.
Yeah, he does crash the boards hard, and that's one thing that Coach Davis emphasizes is 3 for 5 get to the boards, and he's been doing a great job of listening to that and doing it. So he'll get second offensive rebounds for us and second chance points for us just by crashing the boards. So and that's crazy that you said that, because I mean he's been doing it a lot in practice of getting the rebounds, whether it's offensive or defensive.
13 boards against Michigan State. That's a number.
That's what I'm saying. He look like
That's right. I'll ask you about your rebounding at some point this year. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
I like to ask you that question.
Hey, RJ, Jim Lewis. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So just 3 quick questions. What was your favorite moment last year on the court? Like, what was your highlight of the positivity last year?
No problem. My highlight, it probably had to be the play where I saved it against State from going out of bounds and like heaving it from half court and banking it in.
Right, I remember that. That was pretty epic, actually. And then, what did you work to improve on in the off season this year?
Just my overall game, from a shooting standpoint. But I think the main thing I focused on was being a leader. I usually lead by example, but this time, and this year, being more vocal, stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit, because we have a new group of guys, and they come from different programs. So just kind of being that leader that I know coach and the rest of my teammates lean on me to be. So that's what I've been doing working on.
I love that. And last question, fun. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go to like Zaxby's.
Okay.
And get a 5-finger chicken finger plate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, RJ. Appreciate you.
RJ, I have a quick, also 3-question survey. We've been giving it to all the players, but you are our last one.
Okay,
so,
cool.
3 quick questions. If you went on a road trip, what teammate would you take and where would you go?
Oh, so if I went on a road trip, I would take Harrison, just because his personality is goofy, and like me and him have a good relationship. And then we would go. I would say LA. We'll go to LA.
What's your go-to warm-up song?
Any song by Lil Durk.
And then if you had a lifetime supply of anything, what would it be?
Candy. I love candy.
Is this team more physical than last year? And if so, who is driving that change?
I mean, I think last year we were a physical team. We just didn't thrive in terms of being a more physical team in some games that we played. But I think this year we're physical, but we're also competitive. I think Coach Davis always preaches about 50-50 chance. 50-50 loose balls are always North Carolina. And I think that's something that we've been taking pride on. So there's a lot of guys that like dive on the floor, going after the ball, whether it's out of bounds or inbounds. So I think the physicality has always been there for North Carolina, so nothing has changed there.
Armando was talking about one of his goals personally is to have his jersey in the rafters. If he's able to accomplish that goal, what does that mean for you guys at the end of the season? If he's got a jersey up in the rafter, what does that mean, the kind of season you guys have had?
I think for us, there's going to be a lot of great things. There's going to be success. And for Armando, I think for him to, if he completes that and gets that accomplished, then he has established himself as one of the greatest Carolina basketball players to play here. So, but for us as a team, I think that just shows how much we care for one another and want each other to win. And I think that's what will bring us success.
Can a guy going after those goals be viewed in a leadership role because he's telling the rest of the guys, this is what I'm chasing, hop on my back and come on home?
I mean, I think it just, in terms of for an individual standpoint, I think it's a confidence. And for him, we know he's accomplished a lot here, and it has allowed him to be the player who he's thrived to be in his 5 years here. So, and he's been a great leader for us in terms of vocally and leading by example. So yeah.
Have you heard from Lil Durk yet? Because I put a tweet up that you mentioned his music.
So here's the thing.
I put a tweet up and it blew up, and so it's been crazy. So
Lil Durk had followed me on Twitter I want to say
Final Four.
It was
New Orleans.
No, he followed me before that.
Oh, okay.
My COVID year.
Okay.
But then he did retweet something about Lil. I think it was the Final Four. He
Final
retweeted
Four
that
New
one.
Orleans,
Yeah. And I ended up going to see him backstage at a concert my sophomore year. So I got the chance to meet him.
Yeah.
He's really great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
Speaking of rappers, Travis Scott coming to shoot with you guys.
Yeah.
How'd that come about?
So I think he had a concert in Raleigh. He had Charlotte and then Raleigh, and then Mom was a big Travis Scott fan, so that's his favorite rapper. So I think our Jordan repping team, Coach Davis, and the rest of the coaching staff try to see if he could come down to the gym to step us up to us while he's in town, and he ended up coming down, so that was really cool.
How was it?
He was really chill. You would never expect for a rapper to be as chill as he is, but he was cool. Just shooting around with us and joking around with us. So we got good too.
How was the show?
I mean, it's a little awkward, but I mean, it goes in here and there. Yeah.
We're doing a story about timeout.
Yeah, okay, cool.